Hello and welcome to CCRI Today, the show that takes a look at what's going on in the CCRI community. We cover news, current events, and the latest happenings around campus. I'm your host, Riley Sullivan with the CCRI channel. Here are our top stories. Looking to spice up your Spanish? The new weekly campus hangout turning beginners into bold speakers. And place your bets on a new career, a local training program dealing out big opportunities in Lincoln. Plus, Mental Health Month is approaching. How CCRI is supporting its students ahead of graduation. Topping our show today, Spanish is now spoken by millions of people in the United States and at CCRI. A group of students are working to level up their skills with the language. CCRI Today's Will Gerlach joined them for some meetings to get the bigger picture.
Lara. That is a hard word to say.
That might be the tomate. Yeah. My name is Alexa Jezik. I'm the leader of the Spanish Lounge this semester. The Spanish Lounge has been running for like 3 semesters now, and this is my 2nd semester.
Hola a todos. Hi, my name is Mara Theodorici. I'm a professor of the Department of World Languages and Cultures, where I teach Italian and Spanish. And I'm the advisor of the Spanish Lounge.
Eres la leche.
Yeah, but the positive one is eres la leche, which literally means you are. This started last year, as Alexa said. Since the very first day, the idea, the mission of the Spanish Lounge has been that of providing an inclusive and engaging environment where students, staff, and faculty can develop proficiency in Spanish through meaningful interaction.
You kind of get to see the language for like what it is. Like you're allowed to make mistakes. Like you're not penalized for your mistakes, and then you kind of like grow from that.
But motivation is the key, right? If you want to, you can definitely do it. And
even I have more to learn, like a lot.
And that happens even with our first language, the language we use, right? The primary language we use. That can change, right? Depending on the stage of life, our obligations, professional, personal life. But we always learn, always.
Meets every Wednesday at 2 p.m. in room 3240 at the night campus in Warwick. Bally's Casino is putting table games inside CCRI's Flanagan campus in Lincoln. CCRI and Bally's have partnered through a $5 million donation to develop casino hospitality and security training programs. This initiative creates a 95-hour dealer training academy. It also provides scholarships to help CCRI students in addition to dealer training. The program covers casino operations, cybersecurity, culinary arts, hotel management, and slot technology. We talked to the program coordinators about the partnership.
We've trained over 100 new table games dealers, and they've been able to meet the demand that they have for staffing their tables.
All of that we were able to do with the support and the generosity and the expertise of Bally's helping us with that curriculum development.
CCRI was named a 2026 Bellwether Award finalist for the partnership. In March, CCRI held its annual Veterans Fair. CCRI Today's Jack Webb went to speak with an organizer about why students should enlist.
My name is Jack Webb. Who am I here with?
Steph Sorrento-Vecchio. Nice to meet you.
All right. So, how long have you been with the military?
I've been in for 9 years.
9 years. How did you hear about like the military? Like, what influenced you to get started?
So my grandfather, he fought back in World War II, and back when I was 18, I actually had a child, and the military sets you up really good, especially for family. So I decided to go the military route, and then honestly been in ever since, and they've taken great care of my kids.
Do you think veterans bring a unique perspective like, in the classroom process?
I think so, yes, because they have a lot of experience that definitely like seen the world, if not in combat, just in general, going all over the world and stuff like that.
I guess my last question for you is, what advice would you give to someone someone looking to join the military?
The best bet is just to go to a recruiter, because from me, especially the Marines and stuff like that, we're all non-commissioned officers. So we've been in for a little bit, so we all have different experience. So when you talk to a recruiter, they at least been in for a couple of years, so they're gonna know all the answers to questions you may have about certain things.
So they'll have like all the experience.
For more information, check out ccri.edu/VSO. Now, with the semester coming to an end, it's important for students to take note of their mental health. According to the University of Michigan, 37% of college students seek counseling at some point. It's easy to forget to look after yourself. That's why CCRI students have access to the Counseling and Wellness Department. The department is a place for students to seek professional counseling from one of the schools, 2 licensed therapists at any CCRI campus or online.
First step in really dealing with any mental health issues is having that awareness that you are feeling stressed. Right? A lot of times because it's uncomfortable, we try to tell ourselves that we're not feeling stressed. Sometimes as a student you wonder if you need counseling or not, or if should you talk to a counselor about it. There's no problem just coming and talking to us about whether or not you need counseling. That's okay too. You know, it's not, counseling isn't talking about just, like your deepest, darkest secret.
The Counseling Center is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. To find out more, go to Counseling and Wellness page on CCRI's website. Now, in political news, CCRI Today went to speak with students about the state of the world right now. Some are trying not to pay attention, others say it's more important than ever to care. Here's what they had to say. This is Riley Sullivan with CCRI Today, and currently in our world there's a lot of crazy stuff going on between everything with the Epstein files and Iran, and I just want to go around and ask students what they're feeling about it, because I think the most important thing we can do right now is talk about it all, and we need young people to think about things. So we're going to go think about things.
I'm just trying to make sure that I'm doing good with school, and then, if I see something that come up, oh wow, it's crazy, look at it for a little bit.
But you don't let it bother you?
No, I'm not trying to not to let it bother me.
Focus on what you got to focus on.
Yeah.
I'm worried about kind of my future right now. I'm worried about more current events rather than looking too far ahead.
Right.
Sort of more worried about my classes, honestly.
Do you think students should care about this?
They should, one, because they'll pay more.
Yeah.
And for all kinds of items, and 2, because we might end up having a multi-year war.
Right.
That's costly, dollarized for all kinds of other things we could spend money on.
And to kind of feel like my future is kind of
in the hands.
Yes, it makes it scary. Yeah,
absolutely. Why is it important that college students stay updated on things like this?
I think it's important college kids stay informed because some of this could come back and affect us.
We are weeks away from the end of the semester. Here are some events to look out for at CCRI's night campus. The Spring 2026 Job Fair, Tuesday, April 7th. Grad Fest, Monday, April 13th. The VA Job Fair, Thursday, April 30th. And the last day of spring classes is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. All events are free for students. CCRI students and teachers have been plagued with widespread class cancellations. CCRI Today's Stephen Osella talked with film students about how it's affecting them and how they're working around it.
I'm Gerlach, and I am a film and media major. I've had a class get canceled pretty much every semester, and I'm at a point where I don't have many other classes that I could plug in. Yeah, my advisors have typically not been very helpful. I wish that I was able to have gotten more help.
Riley Sullivan, and I am a film and media major. It kind of sucked for this last semester because I have certain classes I need to do that are requirements, and they got canceled. I basically contacted Professor Sneesby, who is the chair of the department here, so she was able to substitute classes in for me. I was lucky because I knew Professor Sneesby.
My name is Jack Webb, and my major is film. I was gonna have an editing class, and 2 days before it got canceled due to like low enrollment. They didn't find another class for me. Yeah, they said I could apply for classes, but I feel like they should do it for me, like since they canceled it. I shouldn't have to go out of my way for that.
CCRI Today reached out to the Department of Academic Affairs multiple times. However, there has been no response. Students may have noticed a lot of changes to campus security this semester since the deadly shooting at Brown University College. Campuses across Rhode Island have been taking a second look at their security. We talked with CCRI students about how they felt on campus. Here's what they had to say.
If the school is looking to implement like new procedures, like I'm open to hearing what some of those procedures are to increase safety. But overall, we also have to do our part in creating like safety for ourselves as well.
I think there should be more resources readily available for students, faculty, staff to understand what to do in these situations. You know, a lot of them are trained, but I'm not. I'm a student here, and I'm one of the population that makes up most of the demographic of people that are in the building.
I know that they did update the cameras at the campuses. I think I heard that they might be getting some metal detectors just in case if, you know, someone might try to be sneaking something in like their bags or something like that, or they might have something strapped onto them as well.
And to address some of those students' concerns, we have a very special guest on CCRI Today. Please welcome the head of campus police, Chief Paul King. Chief, thanks for joining us today. How are you?
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So, Chief, you heard what the students had to say. Post-Brown, what are some changes students can expect to see throughout campus?
We are still an open campus, so we like to maintain that, and we like to allow our students, faculty, and staff to come in and out from the entrances that they're used to. What we have done, though, is we've limited some of those. I mean, in some areas, we had 5 or 6 doors open in one row. So we said, listen, why don't we just limit it to 1, put signs up, and inform the people of how to get in.
Yeah.
You know, one of the students talked about not knowing what to do in case of an event. Major Tim Poulin, my number 2, has been teaching classes for student affairs, student activities, going to each of the different divisions and working in their areas, going over this run, hide, fight scenario.
Right.
And also teaching them, listen, in this area, the best place to do is hide over here. It's got a lot of cinder block walls, lock yourself in, protect yourself. And we always want students to talk to us. The officers at the kiosk are very friendly. If you have a question or you have a suggestion, let us know. It's actually it's a great idea.
So we should come and talk to you guys when we have ideas for this stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. Or listen, call me. My phone number, 825-2205. Don't hesitate to call me. My email is on the bottom of everything I send out. If you have a suggestion, you want to talk, you have a question, absolutely, give me a call.
Can that phone number be found on the CCRI website or somewhere?
Yes, it's my direct desk phone number.
Now, so Friday, April 3rd, this Friday coming up, is a professional development day. Are teachers going to be learning some of that run, hide, fight stuff that you were talking about?
They are. We actually have 2 sessions, 1.5 hours each. I'm not sure of the exact time, but it is part of the itinerary. I have 4 officers assigned to teach different parts of it, to talk about the legislation, to talk about our setup and some of our recent improvements we've had to the school and the buildings.
Yeah.
And then to teach exactly that, the run, hide, fight scenario, and to say, listen, you have the ability to move desks, chairs, tables, anything, stack them in front of doors so that an assailant cannot get in.
Right. Now, earlier you had mentioned only 1 entrance right now. Where we're shooting this in the film department downstairs, the doors are locked. Is that a temporary thing, the 1 door right now, or is that going to be continuous?
So we always strive to improve. So we move from, you know, for example, the main building, there's 3 doors open. The main entrance by 1 stop, and on the other side of the building, we have a door open. Here, we have kind of secured it as best we can because it's not used all the time, but it's used a lot. If it turns out that you say, listen, we really need to get access into this door, talk to your teachers. They will talk to their faculty people, and they bring it up. And look, I don't mind opening it, but I also want to make sure everybody else here feels safe. So again, we grow, we move, we learn as our community ask us to do different things, and we will respond.
So that goes again to reaching out to you guys and making recommendations.
Right, let us know. Like, we lock up, I would lock everything down and cards it, but that's too much. It's not for a community school. Again, so we want to know what is good, works for everybody. I mean, if you decide, listen, I'd rather not walk an extra 15 feet, I need the store, we're not going to do that. But yes, if it's, listen, this makes sense, we should get in this way, absolutely we will.
Absolutely. So the Rhode Island Legislature is currently weighing whether to require campus police to be armed with firearms. What's your position on this?
So whether we're armed with tasers or firearms, these are just more tools we can use when we have an incident occur.
Yeah. Right.
The difference between us and a city is when you move to a city, you expect the police department to be armed.
Yeah.
We are not an armed department now, so the President Costigan is trying to get the feeling from our community as to how they feel about officers being armed. There's a lot that goes into that thought, and there's a lot of people that have had a lot of different experiences, so we want to find out from them how they feel.
So that's reaching out to the students and the faculty.
Right, so there is a survey out now. We have hired a company actually to come in to run a couple of group sessions and ask questions and see how the students and faculty and staff all feel. Because the concern we have is if we force an armed department down the throats of our community, we now become an occupying force as opposed to a police department who's here to protect and serve.
So it should be purely what the community feels like.
Well, I agree that I think we're going to find out how the community feels. Now, if there's some questions or concerns, we will answer those at the meetings and perhaps allay those fears.
Now, so is there going to actually be like a community meeting where we can kind of vote on this and put our thoughts in?
There's going to be several sessions where people can express their concerns. Right now is the survey. This is kind of your voting time. Let's see how people feel.
Yeah.
Let's see where, if people feel, look, there's no need, then that's...
And where can that survey be found?
It just got sent out by the president on Monday.
So we can see it in our emails and
Yes.
stuff like that. Okay, excellent. Yeah, sometimes the emails get all thrown into the dust, so that's good to know that is getting sent out.
They certainly do, and it's like, 3 questions and then your opinion. So it's very simple, very quick.
And you would recommend that students fill this out?
100%.
Yeah.
Give us your opinion. Remember, we're part of the community too, but we really work for the students, right? They're the ones that come in, they're the ones that pay the tuition, so we work for you. So we want to see and give you the police force you want.
So I guess to go on another thing that would be of student opinion, your department recently installed AI-controlled surveillance cameras on campus. Given the controversy surrounding AI-powered cameras and tech, was it a difficult decision to install them?
Yes, it is, but I mean, remember, and I want everybody to know, this is not facial recognition. This is weapons recognition. This will pick up whether you have a displayed handgun or rifle. The AI is improving to pick up large edged weapons. So it's not going to pick up a butter knife, but it will pick up a sword. And again, it is not facial recognition. It is not recognition of, okay, you've got a blue shirt on, we're going to follow you through the whole building. This is weapons recognition only.
Now, can you explain to me a little bit how that works?
So we have chosen several cameras throughout the campus that the AI reviews those videos all day long. When it picks up what it believes to be a weapon, it sends a message right away to a human being who looks at it and says, no, that's not, okay, or yes, it is. Once they say yes, it is, it comes to us and 911. We get the picture, we get the notification, and then we can dispatch officers.
So there is an actual human that is reviewing this footage?
There is an actual human that reviews the footage before it is sent to us. Okay. And then when we get it, we get the video, and we can follow the person moving from camera to camera as they go.
Now, I just got to ask this. Do you think there's room for human error there? Do you think there'd ever be like a mistake that happens?
I mean, there's always room for human error, and those things happen, and that's why if we believe there's a weapon, it comes to us. Now we review it. Now if we
so it goes through a whole process before it's...
And it goes through it almost instantaneously. As soon as the AI picks it up, it sends it to this person. They automatically send it to us. We review it. We would move on it and check it. And again, we'd rather check 100 times and find out we're wrong than to not check and find out we missed something that's terrible.
Excellent. Well, I think that's all for time today, but thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Chief King.
Thank
so
you,
much.
and I hope to come back if anybody has any more questions.
Yeah, of course. That's the end of our first spring 2026 episode of CCRI Today. I'm Riley Sullivan, and thanks for watching.